4 builders and 1 winner. In this video, I challenged 3 of my friends to see who is the best mock builder out of all of us. And at the end of the video, you the audience will get to decide who made the best mock. And make sure to comment down below to let me know whose mock was your favorite. So here are the rules. First, we can only use 1 large gray base plate for the size. We did this for a few different reasons, but mainly because we wanted to be able to show off all of the detail we could put in a build and how well we can make a build in a certain amount of space. All of us could have made massive LEGO Star Wars mocks, but it wouldn't have made sense and wouldn't have been able to test all of our individual skills. Second, we decided to have the theme of ambush. We did this because we wanted all the mocks to be consistent with their general theming. And third, we only gave ourselves 1 month to do this, so we couldn't procrastinate. Now with everything laid out, this is how I built my mock. First, I needed to prototype my mock, so I decided to go to the one software I know best, Minecraft. Now I know what you're thinking, but Minecraft is actually really useful for designing LEGO mocks. Yes, the blocks make it a little bit harder to show specific details, but it gives me a really good idea of exactly what I'm going to be building and how I'm going to build it. For example, for this build, I decided to use 1 block equals 2 studs in real life. That means that this build would be 24 blocks by 24 blocks. It gives me enough space to be able to prototype and show exactly what I want to build, and it'll give me a good idea of what I need to do to build it. One of my major advantages is color. So with this mock, I really tried to emphasize how I could use color in order to make it look better. One of the ways I decided to do that is I wanted to do a gradient with the trees. Now if you don't know what a gradient is, it's pretty simple. It's essentially just going from a certain color to a different one. This could be from dark orange to light yellow, as you see on the build, or it could be something like dark gray to white. It's very simple, but it can make a mock look a lot better and really elevate your build. For this Minecraft prototype, I think I did a great job adding a lot of color and showing a lot of the details that I'm planning to do with the actual build. One of my favorite things about Minecraft is it's very easy to fix or change details. One of the things with LEGO mocks is, though it is relatively simple to build something, it can be harder to change it or completely redo it if you realize you made a mistake. But in Minecraft, if you make a wrong move or do something wrong, it'll only take you like 5 minutes to fix it. Now that I finished the Minecraft prototype, it's time to build it in real life. To start, I used a regular gray base plate. This will give me plenty of room to actually build the mock. Next, I decided to build up the terrain to be able to add a small interior on the inside. To do that, I decided to use Duplo and regular bricks so I can add more detail later. From there, I decided to build the sides using 3 layers consisting of dark bluish gray for the stone, brown for the dirt, and dark brown for the mud. I think this adds a lot of variation and gives it nice detail as well as texturing for the walls. It's also very simple, so I can add more detail later. Next, I decided to start working on the terrain itself. To start, I decided to use 3 different layers. The first one will be dark brown. This will give a simple layered mud look and allow it to have some muddy spots around the mock. Next, I decided to use sand green. This will give more dead grass look, but it'll also allow us to have more texture and allow me to experiment with different colors. And the third layer is going to be dark green. I decided to go with this because it gives it more of a lush color. From there, I used a lot of wedges to make it look smoother and give it a nice transition between the 3 colors. Now that I'm finished with the terrain, it's time to start with the base. First, with the floor, I decided to use just grill pieces and tiles. This gives it a nice look and allows me to continue with more detail as we go on. Now for the first of the 2 rooms, I decided to have an armory. The story of this base is that this base is a clone storage and supply base, allowing the troops to both get more resources to continue the battlefront and continue working their way towards taking back the planet. This is a major base inside clone territory that allows them to quickly get resources from one place to another, and if the droids are able to take it, it would be a massive blow to the Republic. So for the first room, I'm going to use an armory. This will be where the clones store all their weapons and armor for them to use later during battle. This also is a place for people to restock on all their tools and different items. Next, I decided to add a sliding door that goes to the next room. This room is the storage room. For this mock, I decided I want to go above and beyond and add lighting. Now for this, I'm going to use Light My Bricks, which allows me to add nice lighting and is relatively cheap and works really well. For the battery pack, I'm going to hide it in plain sight, and to do this, I decided this is going to be a storage room. Continuing with the story, it contains vital resources including food, weapons, and communications that allow the clones to continue the battlefront and get resources to their teammates. Now that we have the interior of the MOC finished, it's time to build the top. Now for this base, instead of building it really high up and making it more of a tower look, I decided since this is more of a forest planet, they want to have it more hidden. So to do this, I'm going to give it more of a platform bunker look. To do that, I'm going to first build up the platform. Now, I've never really done this before, so it's going to be my first time actually trying building a platform with the studs on top technique. I was able to get these really nice looking lines that show spots where vehicles like ATRTs can sit. Next is for the bunker part. Now for this, I don't think I have enough time to add a full door, so instead I'm going to build the 2 walls that would lead to a door. To do this, I'm going to use more studs on top as well as some different techniques to make a very smooth and textured look, different from the actual terrain of the planet. Now that I've finished both those things, it's time to add the foliage. Now, when it comes to my Minecraft build, I decided to use more of a gradient for the trees to add a splash of color, and I want to continue with that with the actual build. So for this, I'm going to use a gradient of dark red to orange to yellow. This makes it really nice and gives it a splash of color with all the green and gray. For the minifigures, on the droid side, I decided to go with regular B1 battle droids as well as B2 super battle droids, and for the clone side, I decided to go with the wolf pack. Now what's pretty cool about this is that these are all custom decaled minifigures that I made a few weeks ago. I think they turned out really nicely, and since it was my first time decaling, I did make a few errors, but I think they look great overall. For the builds, I decided to use regular staff speeders from the Clone Trooper and Droid Battle Pack. I also used the custom ATRT I designed a little while back. Then I decided to add crates, including crates made out of dice pieces and lightsaber blades, as well as miscellaneous parts. And finally, for the finishing touch, I added a nice explosion that I made using orange rock parts. And now the MOC is finished. So I present to you my MOC for the contest. Thank you all for watching the video. I had an amazing time setting this up and making sure everything got done, but I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Make sure to check out all the other builds that people made for this contest, and make sure to subscribe. Like I mentioned, you'll be able to vote which MOC was your favorite by the community post that's now live. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. Goodbye.